All right, let's get into it.
Well,
It's Friday. I wasn't going to do it.
It's Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Warfighter Tobacco Podcast. I'm John. That's Scott. And then we have a guest today.
We have a guest.
What do we do?
Introduce yourself, Cory.
my name's Cory Krebs. I'm actually an hour outside of St. Louis, Missouri.
No, you're in San Antonio, buddy.
Yeah, this is technically shirts.
I'm from an hour outside St. Louis.
And what brings you on our podcast today?
So we actually came down here to see y'all, me and my lovely wife, for our 1-year wedding anniversary, which happens to be today.
Which is awesome. Happy anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary, guys.
And you better plug the old wife's name or you're going to be in trouble.
That's Andrea, my love, and the one who keeps me grounded and out of jail.
Oh, my wife grounds me all the time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different type.
Oh,
No.
there's different types?
It's the same.
Same.
Okay.
Both ways.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I was gonna say I've never really heard somebody introduce their wife with "This is the one that grounds me," in the negative way.
No.
So you came down and we gave you a little tour, and you had us autograph a box of cigars, which is cool. And I asked you if you smoke cigars. You said not the good ones yet.
No.
And so I didn't exactly know what you meant at the beginning of that. And then you explained to me that you've only ever smoked like cheap gas station cigars
Yeah.
and never a premium hand-rolled cigar.
No.
Okay, so got my wheels turning. And you were also in the service.
Correct.
What'd you do in the service?
I was a 3531 motor transportation operator in the Marine Corps
Okay.
from 2012 to 2016.
All right. So we have a veteran. We have somebody that's interested enough in the cigar industry to at least come into Warfighter Tobacco's headquarters on his 1-year anniversary. God bless your wife.
Right.
I don't know. There's not too many other wives that
No.
put up with that bullshit right there.
No.
So,
None.
but when you said that, we weren't going to record quite yet, but we're like, okay, we got my wheels turning. Like, because Warfighter Tobacco Podcast, we like to focus on veterans. We like to focus on cigar industry stuff.
Right.
And I've always said that, we wanted to have manufacturers on, have sales reps on, have whatever. I've never thought about a person that's never smoked a premium,
their first cigar,
having their first legit cigar on the episode.
right?
So we're going to do that today.
So what have you smoked in the past?
In the past, well, obviously, when we're on the military, we all have the Black and Milds.
Right.
And then the ones that say Cuban on the wrapper,
Yeah.
but they're from the liquor store and they cost you $3.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a Cuban sandwich.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah. I mean, they just left off half of the
Right,
description. Yeah.
Right. But on the other
They have
side,
like backwoods, white owls, all that kind of stuff.
some cigarellos, I don't smoke them.
Okay.
I know they're more used for the wraps these days, but
So have you listened to the Warfighter Tobacco Podcast?
I've listened to 2.
Okay.
In my job, my newer job I have, I can't listen to podcasts all day
right.
like my old
Yeah.
job.
So we've gone over new people smoking advice.
Yep.
Quite a bit. But we're going to start right now. So grab your cigar.
Which one should I start?
That one right there. That is our 762 Sumatra. It's the one we blended for people who don't smoke a lot of cigars. It's a great first cigar. And I'm going to start with how to get it out of the wrapper.
I don't want to destroy this thing.
Just push it out like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is the easiest way.
That's the easiest way. All right. Now to cut the cigar, I have a perfect cigar here to show you where to cut that cigar. So you have the cap,
Right.
and then you have another ring, right?
Yep, I see those 2.
Okay. You want to cut as close to the top cap as you can. If you cut deeper than that, your cigar can come unraveled.
Yeah.
This is nerve wracking.
So don't mess it up.
John?
We're
There
all
you go.
counting.
Actually, that was a
That's
great cut.
perfect cut. All right.
Another way you can do it too is in traditional guillotine cutters, right? You have the body of the cutter and the blades are usually centered in the middle of it. If you lay that flat on the table, open it up, stick your cigar into the table,
Okay.
and then cut it. It'll only cut the thickness between the blades and the body of that cutter.
When you're hammered,
It's the
that's
best
a
way to
good
do
party
it.
trick.
Yeah, because then you're not like,
Yeah, no, because those ones that you have to get from the gas or the liquor store,
Yeah.
the Cuban sandwich, you
Yeah.
called it. You cut it too far. Or I think the one time I did smoke one, I cut it too far and it just fell apart.
Yeah.
So I didn't even smoke it.
Yeah. So all right, before we get going, you have to hand me that Devil's River, and then there's Eagle Rare here if anybody wants that, and there's more there.
What's the best one?
Eagle Rare is definitely an
delicious.
anniversary gift, I would imagine. That's a good one. John, what are you down?
I might crack open that other bottle of Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you probably kill most of that guy.
Oh, not today.
No, not you,
Oh, no,
him.
me.
Oh, yeah.
I think you just assume I'm going to kill this bottle of Devil's River,
Scott's over there like, force of habit. My bad.
right?
Is that what you think?
Well, I mean, I've known you for a little while.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not out of the norm.
All right, so now we're going to light our cigar. That's a torch. So, what you want to do, I should have showed you. All right, you want to look at it, look at the end, and you want to toast it, and you want to get it hot all the way around where it's just starting to turn red or orange, right? Just make sure you get it evenly lit, and once it looks like it's starting to go, then take a couple puffs as you're lighting it, and it should light right up.
Yep.
That's good. Now hit it with the lighter as you're puffing a little bit, and it should. Yep, there you go. A little bit lower. There you go. Perfect. That's it right there.
Good to go.
Now look at the end of it, blow on it, and if it all turns orange, then you know it's lit right. If it doesn't all turn orange, there's a little black spot. You gotta just hit it a little bit more. So that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right,
Okay, we're lit.
we're lit. We're smoking.
It might not be the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, but I sure as fuck am lit.
So, what are your first impressions? And you can be honest.
It's heavier than I thought it'd be.
And that's a mild one,
Okay. But it's also smooth in the same
right?
aspect.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So you're not inhaling because that was the first thing I was watching
Mm-hmm.
for. And I'm almost kind of hoping for.
It's a self-correcting
It
problem.
really
It-
is.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because black and mild, you don't want to inhale either.
No. I remember back
that
in the Army.
mistake.
So I learned how to smoke Black and Milds from a couple guys in our platoon, Alan and Meredith.
Yeah.
And they taught me, they said that I couldn't just take the Black and Mild out of the package it came in and light it and smoke it.
Okay.
It's not how you smoke them. Because there's essentially a binder on the inside, another wrapper that's underneath the outside leaf that you see.
Yeah.
And as they put it, that's what gives you cancer. You got to get rid of that. I was like, okay, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but sure, let's do this. So you essentially dump all the tobacco out from the inside, and it's all chopped mixed filler bullshit. And you dump it all out back into the cellophane that you pulled it out of, and then you can essentially pull that binder out of there. And then you repack it with the tobacco in it, and that's how you're supposed to smoke it.
I just thought it was because they were so used to putting marijuana in them.
No, because actually, you know what? I don't know if either one of them smoked. I mean, they both joined. No, they probably have. They both joined when they were 18. You know,
Right.
when they were young as well.
Yeah, this is what happens when your 18-year-old
So
friends
they
are giving
called
you
it-
advice when you're
They,
19.
they call it freaking a Black and Mild. Yeah, you got to freak it first before you smoke them. Well, okay, cool.
Wow, I've never heard that.
And so, but I've smoked them like back to back just to see the difference, and there is a big difference. So I was
Is
like,
there?
it tastes way better when you do it that way.
Now, how'd they get it tight?
So you take a pen, like a big pen, and you put like a little bit of tobacco, and then you tamp it down a little bit more, and you tamp it down. You know, just like the other way.
That seems like a lot of work for at the time of
It was
52 cents.
But when
ago.
you're sitting on in an OP and you
Yeah.
got nothing else to do, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, this will waste 30 minutes of my time.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's good though. I like it.
Nice. So in the Marines, what you said you were motor T.
Yep.
So where were you stationed?
Camp Pendleton, California.
All right. Did you get any deployments in?
I went to Afghanistan
Okay.
for a short time. I went in there mainly as a replacement,
Right.
but also to help them because they lost a driver.
Hmm.
So I hit the fleet in October, and then by November 5th, I was in Afghanistan
Holy shit.
because they were
Wow.
already there.
That's
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, they were already there.
Yeah.
And I went through, got all my certs and everything,
Right.
and I wasn't best in the class, but I was second best in the class
Yeah.
in motor T school. So left that, got to my unit, and then they're like, "Hey, they just lost a driver. They need another one. Go."
Yep.
So then I got all my Afghan certs that don't mean nothing back stateside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever put anything on your resume after you got out?
Oh God, yeah. That I shouldn't have.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I was
I
proud
didn't-
of way too much stuff.
Right. I didn't translate it to like the
Yeah.
corporate world.
Yeah.
I just put it in as like the military would look at it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Because the military is like, oh yeah, that's
was a
fucking gold.
javelin gunner instructor.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And most civilians are probably like, what is javelin?
Well, most civilians they read it and they're like, oh, thank you, but I think we're gonna move in a different.
My
direction.
problem is I put
I nailed
the
on that one.
my problem is I put all the sniper shit down. Then
Right.
I just thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
So, but now I put it down when I was applying to be a security at a nuclear plant. So I thought
makes sense.
I thought it applied.
Yeah.
But
Right.
how I didn't get that job or a job offer, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I must have really fucked something up because I would have been way overqualified for that one.
We'll see. Y'all are infantry too, so it's a little bit harder in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because, motor T, I can put, I was in charge of this amount of rolling stock.
Right.
And this amount of rolling stock each had, there was, I think it was like 37, 39 pieces of equipment per truck inside a single roll bag.
Yeah.
And then that roll bag went inside of a locker,
Right.
which then went inside of a boot locker, which went inside of an ISO container. And if you add it all up, it was like $30 million worth of equipment.
Right.
So you can put on those numbers down, and the employer's like, oh, you know how to
Mhm.
do this, this, and this.
Yeah. I mean, we had numbers that we could have put down. We just didn't think to.
Yeah.
It never like crossed my mind to be like, maybe I should use that
Yeah.
and focus more on like the leadership stuff. And you
Yeah.
know, I'm like, no, I kicked indoors for a living.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. Hindsight.
Yeah. Well,
I even did that resume writing class when
I did
I
too.
was clearing, and it was like,
I did that one. That was bullshit.
I was
did
like,
one-
this is the worst thing I've ever done.
I did one in college, and that's when I figured out how fucking bad my original one was.
Yeah.
So they had the transition classes.
Yeah, but this was in 04, 05.
They were joking.
And it was just like, it was kind of like train the trainer, right? It was like some E5 that somebody else told him what to do, but he's never had to write a resume in his
Yeah.
life. He's like, this is what you need to get a job.
Yeah.
Like you,
And when I got out, it was like right after our deployment, and the whole division was stop lost, right? So you had like over a year's worth of people that were ready to get out,
Yeah.
all getting out at the same time. So all those classes were like complete
check the box.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I got nothing out of any of that.
No.
So it hasn't changed. Like I said, I got out in 16. And like when y'all are doing the podcast or whatever, whichever one it is, and you talk about like how it was back then, I'm like, it's changed so much.
Yeah.
It's weird because like
You think it's changed?
from what you all said
Yeah.
to like how it was when I got out.
Oh, like what? What are some changes?
Oh, well, how the Marine Corps is, I know when Mikey was talking about some stuff in the Marine Corps,
Yeah.
I was like, that's completely different now. When
Yeah.
it comes to, how stuff's done or like what they're wearing and stuff like that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like the Marine Corps has gone to, unless you're in the field or deployed, you're in woodlands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool.
And woodlands suck.
Yeah.
So they're the thick ones. They're the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's
and
miserable.
They're black and dark green.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's smart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine wearing a winter uniform in the summer.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible
Yeah.
because those were thicker.
I couldn't even imagine wearing a winter uniform in the winter.
That's right. I don't think we ever did.
No.
Those were my pressed ones that I wore for like inspections and shit, if I remember.
I just had a whole set of summers that were pressed for inspections.
Yeah.
Because they were just, those winter ones, you're just like, meh.
And I say winter because we use, when you would switch from daylight savings, we'd switch uniforms.
Oh, that's dumb.
I want to meet the officer that was his bullet point on his
Yeah.
OER.
No, I don't want to. I don't.
I do. I just want to be like, sir, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
So whenever the clock would jump forward or back, whatever day that was, you'd go from deserts to woodland, and then
Deserts to woodland.
and then the follow-on one where it goes, I think, back when it goes from winter to summer, we would go from woodlands to deserts.
Huh.
That's
Now
funny.
it's garrison is woodlands, field and deployment is desert. I want to meet the officer who got that bullet.
Right. Yeah. Because
Because they're thicker, they're heavier,
Yeah.
If you don't think about it, it makes complete sense.
You know what?
If you just totally ignore
Yeah, if you're looking at it on paper,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you have no application,
Nope.
yeah,
None of it. The officer that has never left his office knew that that was a great idea.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So you're a couple more puffs into that cigar.
I like it. It tastes good.
Good.
It does taste good.
Yeah. It's
I
a,
made the mistake earlier of inhaling.
yeah.
Like I said, it's self.
So have you ever done a retrohale?
Oh, you're gonna.
I'm going to hurt you.
Oh.
All right.
Justin, if you might want to zoom on this.
This is what's going to give you the flavors. Okay. Because all your taste buds are kind of in your nose.
Right.
Right. So without inhaling it into your lungs, you want to exhale a little bit of the cigar smoke
So like
out
a
of your
French
nose.
inhale.
No, but opposite. You want the smoke to go out your nose, not in your nose.
Oh, I don't know how.
So, okay, go like this. Just quit breathing. Now breathe out. Now breathe out your nose. Now you're going to do that with smoke in your mouth.
Okay.
That's,
Right? But a little bit. No,
No.
breathe out your nose. Just a little bit. Just a hint. There you go.
Yep.
That's a good retrohale. Okay. Now some people that really the first time they do it burns and it's awkward, right? But now you should be getting a lot more flavors.
Say it tingles.
It tingles. Yeah, it'll tingle. You'll get used to it. But if you want to, once you get into smoking different cigars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do that every now and then, and that'll give you like the flavors just magnify a lot more.
yeah, you'd be able to pick out. When some of these tasting notes in some of the cigars, they have some. You get whatever wood, leather, coffee, chocolate, a hint of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you do those retros, that's when you start picking up those hints and those subtle notes.
And I think that might be your first sip of whiskey.
Second.
Okay, I was gonna say now smoke it, and it'll have changed a little.
Yeah, what you're smoking or eating affects how that cigar is going to taste as well.
There's definitely more flavor.
Right.
Yeah, and so some of it might be coming off the whiskey, some of it, you know what I mean. But whatever different stuff you're drinking will affect the flavors of the cigar smoke. So, and now you don't have to retrohale it every time.
Well, now I'm just doing that
Yeah.
out of habit.
What are you smoking, Scott?
Well, I'm smoking the night shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 5.56 Field. I had one over the weekend. And it's
Yeah.
the first one I've had in a little while.
Nice.
It's like,
You're smoking the Sumatra.
Yep.
Mantra.
762 Field Sumatra. Yeah. What you want to do some questions? Audience questions? What do we got?
We can hit you out with some questions. The first one we had is, will Warfighter ever make a barber pole?
so barber
Like
pole.
one of the old school spiral ones.
Yeah. So the
Yep.
outside wrapper has two different leaves in there. They're typically they're drastic different colors. And then when they wrap them, at the same time. So it looks like it's a barber pole. Yeah.
Okay.
So we attempted a barber pole.
Well, we've attempted two.
Yeah.
One of them was 8 years ago,
An epic failure.
and it's still horrible. And that one is, yeah,
We learned a lot of lessons from that.
we did.
Yeah.
And we kept all the notes from that blend, so we'd never do it again.
So it's one of those things, you're at the blending table at the factory, right? And you're smoking the cigar, and we landed on something we thought was great. Let it age together, and it's still one of the worst cigars I've ever had.
Yep.
And then, is that the only one we've blended, or have we blended more?
We did the other one
Yeah.
with the Habano. That one was decent.
Yeah.
Still needs a little work.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about all the the blending side of it is, you start with kind of a base, you smoke it, you get to know what it is, and then you can start tweaking it and to get to that final product. So it's not just like a one and done, like, oh yep, this is it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
you
sit
smoke
there,
it and you're
tweak
like, and it's weird to say, but there's sometimes when you blend, like the cigar feels hollow, like tastes hollow, like it's missing a part of the flavor. You know, like, so you smoke it and you get like the mouthfeel, you get a little bit on your tongue, you get a little bit on the retro, but it feels like it's just not there. It needs more. Like it's not, it's missing something, you know? Yep.
Like when you don't put enough liquor if you're having a mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the answer to that is probably. Strong maybe. Yep.
Strong man.
Yeah.
I've got another one here that I think y'all have some good insight into. We had a question come in that said, "How do you balance your personal and family time and running a business?"
One or the other suffers.
If you're a business owner, or if you're just a person in general,
Even with just work.
which
It doesn't even have
just
to be your
work.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At some point in your life, if somebody in your life, whether it's your boss, your wife, your kids, your buddies, your coworkers, if somebody's not pissed off at you, then they're all pissed off at you. Right? Because everything sacrifices for the other thing. Right? And so if I family focus very heavily for a while, then I feel like my business suffers, or not necessarily the business, but like the relationships, the knowing how it's going, all that kind of stuff, right? If I focus hard on business, then my family life suffers. And I've honestly, I hear a lot of my other veteran friends talk about how, oh, it's so important, it's so important, it's so important. It is important. I've been terrible at it. Apparently, every other veteran that owns a business is excellent at it. I am not one of those. I am terrible at it. So
It's a hard balance.
it's a hard balance. Somebody's always mad at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if Michelle's not mad at me, then I need to look hard at like what's going on in the business. If the business is going great, I need to look hard at whether or not Michelle's mad at me. Do my kids remember my name? Okay. They still do. Good. I'm not good at it. I wish I was better. There's no easy answer for that one. I don't
Right.
think.
Well, I like that answer because I got a new job recently and I'm now a GM of a Marco's Pizza
Okay.
Yeah.
up where we are. And, I have my contractual obligations
Right.
Yeah.
that I have to fill. And for about 2 weeks there, I didn't see her.
Yeah.
I was coming home, she was asleep. I
Yeah.
was asleep when she was going to work.
Yeah.
When she come home, I'm working.
Right.
So I didn't see her for like 2 weeks.
The two ships passing in the night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And then you throw kids in the mix and it
Well,
fucks
no kids.
yeah.
all that up though.
Yeah.
But it does. It just,
Yeah.
it's then instead of it's, quality time with your wife, then it's like, well, now we both sacrifice that for the kid,
Right.
which can also be the same, but yeah, it's hard, man. So
There's no quote. I don't know who said it, but it makes sense, especially in this context. And it was about entrepreneurship and starting your own business and that kind of things. And it was, I'm going to live my life in a way that most people won't. So down the road, I can live my life like most people can't.
that's a good quote.
And so there are sacrifices that have to be made in order to get to the end goal that, people are looking for, that, you set goals and you're like, okay, I got to meet this goal. And no matter what the goal is, in any aspect of your life, there has to be sacrifices made in order to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just like, I want to be better at shooting. Well, you're going to sacrifice the shit out of your bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need ammo and time and range time. And, you got to put off doing other things in life in order to go practice to get good at it.
Yeah.
Every single goal comes with sacrifice. But it's just being able to balance that and what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to where you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had relationships that went to shit. Friends that, I don't talk with much anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Financially, like we've both started over several times. Like,
Yeah.
it's, yeah. I don't know. I wish I knew the answer.
Just keep trying.
Yeah.
That's it. Just keep trying.
I think the goal for me is, I hope, when I die, my kids aren't relieved. I hope they mourn me for at least an hour or two.
Yeah, just act sad at the funeral. Come on.
Just I'll be happy with going to the funeral. Yeah. So
I've heard a lot about how like you kind of have to weigh, like, yes, I'm spending a lot of time away, but what I'm giving my family from this time away can kind of counterbalance that.
yeah, and sometimes though, like I've done business stuff for 15 years now. I don't even know, long time.
Yeah.
And when you sacrifice a lot and then something fails or it's not to where you want it to be, then it wears you down, And so, if I don't know, I don't know a good answer to it. You got to keep trying. If I just quit, then then
Well, you can't quit.
yeah, you can't quit, right? So
Then all that sacrificed time is kind of for nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
that's a hard question.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
We got one more. What are your best practices to make sure your obligations were kept?
Oh God.
Another, I guess, business question.
Well, for example, if you're in the middle of a podcast, every now and then there's a phone call you have to take.
That's true.
And so that's probably keeping an obligation kept. That's another hard one,
Yeah.
right? Like I wish there was, I wish there was more of me that I could hire but I don't know. You just have to follow up, keep notes. I got a bad memory. So for me, I have to work extra hard to.
You and me are very similar in that aspect.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a meeting where I don't have, like, my laptop was dead this morning when we had our Monday meeting.
Yeah.
Pulled out the phone because I was like, no chance in hell I'm remembering everything we cover here.
Yeah.
Like, notes are,
But you're at least better at taking notes than me.
that's fair.
So.
I've learned from experience because there's
Yeah.
been times where like every now and then you do pull something out where I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't take notes.
Yeah.
So now I'm a diligent note taker. But yeah. I hear a lot about, like, I see the clips where it's like you gotta start by doing one hard thing in the morning, which makes me want to be like, I need to like start working out in the morning so I can be like, all right, I did one hard
Yeah.
thing. Now,
But like the
rest
Jocko
of it.
Willink, the whole make your bed thing, right?
Yeah.
Or was that?
That's Jordan
Mc-
Peterson, I believe.
No, it was
No,
McCraven, Admiral
Yeah,
McCraven.
some Navy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Admiral McCraven, like make your bed.
Yeah.
And then everything else, well, fuck that.
Yeah. I can't get behind the whole make your bed thing.
No,
Yeah.
Why?
Actually, I'm going to run that as a poll for this episode.
make your bed or not.
Do you make your bed in the morning or not?
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I'm a fuck it. I'm up. Let's get after it today.
Yeah.
Kind of person.
If I need to make the wife happy, I'll make the bed.
That's different though. You're doing it to please someone else. I want to know, are you making the bed for yourself or not? But
You at least wash the sheets every now and then.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You got to do that.
That's good hygiene.
But as far as making the bed,
Yeah.
why? So you can just unmake it when you get in it that night?
Yeah.
Do you bring guests into your bedroom? Because I just shut my bedroom door.
Yeah.
So I would rather, one, the main reason I could never make my bed is my wife's always in my bed after when I wake up.
That's fair.
So she would not appreciate me making the bed while she's still in it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not really going to circle back at noon and go make the bed because that's a complete waste of time at that point.
100%.
That's just out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I have found that helps me, I can start the day and know, like, all right, I'm like 99% sure I'm going to have a productive day, is if I have one of those mornings where I wake up and I'm already like, it's like I have 10 minutes to shit, shower, and shave, grab all my shit and get in the truck and get to work.
Yeah.
Usually those days are absolute shit.
Yes.
for
When
me.
you wake up and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad. But recently I've been waking up 2-3 hours early with a newborn baby, and I still have things to do. But like this morning, I was up at like 6:30 ish, and I usually try to leave the house around 8:30 or so. But I had 2 hours to get baby girl taken care of,
Yeah.
get whatever my wife needs. I had time to shower as It was my first day back in the office, so I had to pack up all like a bunch of my camera stuff and
Yeah.
my laptop. And I was ready to go with like 30, 45 minutes before I needed to be in the truck on the way to work. And I was like, oh, I can like enjoy a breakfast and
You
like
have a breakfast.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, and I had that time to be like, all right, first day back, we're going to have a meeting. I know I need to get this stuff taken care of, these photos, blah, blah, blah. And I showed up to work already knowing what I need to do. And I was like, oh, it's my first day back, but this is going to be way better than those days where I woke up at like 8:30 and it was like, fuck, like I got to get going. But just having the time to like actually wake up
Yeah.
and just do a little bit of prep for the day
Yeah.
drastically improves everything that I get done throughout the day.
Yeah. I was in a good mood when everybody showed up when we had a 9:00 meeting. I was like, oh, this is going to be a good day.
100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was in
And
the
then-
shop by 9.
Yeah. And then we had to do a little bit of physical work. I like a little bit of physical work in the morning just to get me going.
Yeah.
Because most of my cigar CEO responsibilities aren't very physical
Mhm.
all the
Behind
time.
the desk.
So when we have like pallets come in, I'm like, I'm happy because I get to like go do some physical work. I like physical work. I miss it.
Absolutely.
So he probably likes the physical work because it reminds him of his olden days when he would. Because now you're the guy you used to make fun of that's flying a desk.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah. Yeah.
This past weekend, so I've been out for a couple weeks on paternity leave, taking care of the baby, and a lot of taking care of a baby is just moving her from holding her to like a changing table. Like it's not physically demanding necessarily. But this weekend, my dad came over and we put up a shed in the backyard to get a bunch of the lawn equipment out of the garage. And just being outside in the sun, sweating and doing something physical, like I got done. And normally I'd be like, oh, fuck, that sucked. It was so hot. But I was like, I feel great.
Yeah.
Like I got out and fucking sweated and was moving shit in the whole nine. And I was like, yeah, this is, I every now and then you forget, like, I need a little bit of that physical exertion. And it's put the fire under me to be like, maybe I start waking up and doing like a morning workout and getting the day started. Cause you were doing that for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably noticed the difference.
I actually prefer an evening workout.
Really?
Yeah. Because then I can sleep better.
That's fair. I understand that. Yeah. Just wipes you out for the day.
I like to do something physical in the morning, just not work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the evening workouts, but
It's almost like all these people that say that you should work out and it helps your health. They have something behind that. They might have a little bit of credence, you know?
yeah.
I didn't believe them before, but now I'm starting to believe them. But
Well, a lot of the people that say that that's their livelihood too.
Yeah.
that is also
If
true.
if my income was based off of how well I worked out,
Mhm.
it might be a little different.
That's true.
But
That's true.
yeah.
So you don't gotta wake up in the morning to make your bed. Just wake up a little bit earlier and give yourself that time in the morning.
That's what I need to start doing. And like just something. But just like old school army workout, push ups, sit ups,
Yeah.
fucking flutter kicks, whatever. Just something to get my body going would probably be better. But we also, Scott, we can cover this. Our big sale starts today. So if you're listening to this podcast the day it came out.
Well, Justin, I think you should cover this.
Oh, fair enough.
Being that it's your first and all.
It is my first Father's Day. So we have our Father's Day sale. It is going live the day this episode comes out, May 7th. It's going to run for a couple weeks, but we've got some awesome bundles coming out. So you can win favorite child this year for Father's Day. It is entirely up to you. But
Yes.
we've got our big green humidors. We got a big bundle with those or with that. So you get the green humidor, a 6-pack of double Corona sampler, an M8 guillotine cutter that we've recently added to the Warfighter website, and they are
This
fucking
guy.
awesome. Yes,
Okay.
everybody here is running them. They kick ass.
Yeah, they do.
As well as the Rebel Calibre Rebel lighter, and we're throwing in for free our Bovida 100 count humidor starter pack. So you can literally get everything you need for your humidor with just a couple clicks. of the
One-stop
button.
shopping.
One-stop shopping,
There you
baby.
go.
So speaking of balancing, work life, that was a work call, so I just had to step away.
That's
for a
what I
sec.
said.
So sorry, guys.
No, that's what I said. That was my example when you got, I'm like, sometimes you got to take a work call in the middle of a podcast.
That's it. I was up in DFW last week visiting shops, and that was one of the shops just following back up. And so yeah, they get that split second of like, I can call him back. And it's like, no, I need to take this.
Okay, I wish you all would come into St. Louis more.
Yeah. Well, hit up some shops. Tell them to carry your Warfighter, and that's how we get into places.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. St. Louis is a fun little town.
It's
How about-
something.
it's something.
Say visiting is more fun than living.
Well, I've never lived there, so that's why I say it's not bad. I've only been there, I think, twice, and I had a good time both times.
Now, were you in St. Louis City or were you outside?
I don't know. I was drunk.
That's well, if you were drunk, you were downtown. If you're in the city, that's
Yeah.
Washington Street, where all the bars
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
It's a little party street.
yeah.
And then if you get outside of that, I mean, we have a new thing called the City Foundry.
Oh
It's,
no, this was like 20 years ago when I was there.
no. It's a lot more liberal now.
Yeah.
It's funny how major populous areas are changing into that. Like I'd never gone to like a small town in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Like, oh yeah, we like giving up our freedoms for nothing.
They're big, pretty buildings, though, Scott.
Yeah.
Not in St. Louis.
You have a big fancy half of
You have an
McDonald's.
arch.
Yeah, yeah. The Arch is cool to go up there once if you live there.
I drove by it on the highway.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never gone up
I mean,
it.
No.
I've never heard the St. Louis Arch referred to as half of McDonald's, but I love that.
Well, it's silver and it's half.
It is.
So-
No,
It's not a golden arch.
it's a great descriptor. I've just never heard.
Somebody
it.
needs to paint it yellow.
Well, which is funny because McDonald's original logo was one single golden arch.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Then St. Louis was like, back off our shit, bro.
Yeah, probably.
What came first, the St. Louis Arch or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
I think
The Arch.
I don't know.
he's looking.
Are you going to Google?
it's probably close. I bet it's within 10 years.
I'll bet you if you ask that exact question, an answer will pop up.
Say I know about the one good thing about the Arch is the views, and then it's the largest man-made
Arch.
well, yeah, but how what's the word I'm looking for?
McDonald's beats them by 23 years.
Ah, there
Yeah.
you go. There you
1940
go.
for McDonald's, and the St. Louis Arch was built February 12th, 1963.
I put in what came first, the St. Louis Arch or McDonald's, and the first thing that came back was the St. Louis Arch has no McDonald's up top.
There is nothing up top.
That's
There's just
funny.
platforms to look out.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, you can feel it swaying.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the largest man-made object in the country, so it's taller than the Statue of Liberty. It's
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day.
All I can think about is going up there and being like, what happens if I spit off this?
So
That's just my dude brain.
as much as you'd want to, you can't.
They don't even let you spit off
So
it?
it's
Well, there's
all enclosed.
windows.
Oh, it's enclosed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a giant. It's when you're looking at it, it's an arch.
Yeah.
But it's just a walkway with windows on either side,
Damn.
so you can see the Illinois side, the river, and all that.
Oh, they got
See
little
downtown.
windows up top.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like little windows.
Yeah.
They're
They-
probably really big.
Would
But
you
it-
say they're probably about 4 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah.
it says it's 630 feet at the tallest point, and it's the tallest monument in the United States.
Monument. That's the word I was looking
There
for.
you go. What is it?
That's what I'm looking for.
What's it memorializing?
Gateway to the West. Because it was the last big stop going out west. You'd hit St. Louis, hit the big trade market there because of the Mississippi that runs from the Great Lakes to the Gulf.
Right.
And then you'd head out west and deal with whatever's out that way.
Yeah. Cool.
It celebrates the westward expansion of the United States and the pioneers who made it possible. They used 43,000 tons of concrete and steel to make it. Huh.
Damn. Yeah, it is
Oh, they have a tram that takes you to the top.
quite large.
Yeah.
I was going to say the only way. Holy shit.
So it's taller than the Space Needle. Comes in at
I like how they put the
630
Arc de
feet.
Triomphe on there like it's big. It's even in movies, like it's not big.
Yeah, it doesn't even look big.
That's it. That is a cool place to go see if you ever get a chance to go to France.
That's what our buddy Mikey's doing. Right
Yeah.
now.
But they have the Eternal Flame in there.
So you lived there, right?
Belgium.
Belgium.
Yeah. So it was probably, I don't know, 3-hour drive to Paris. It's a shithole.
Thank you for saying that.
It really
She wants
is.
to go to Paris, and I keep telling her, don't do it.
It's a tourist trap.
It smells. It's dirty.
There's so many other cool places in
Garbage.
France to go to. I mean, don't get me like the Arc de Triomphe and like the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower. You know, like the churches. Like, there's so much cool stuff to see. But like, so like, oh, I want to go to the Louvre. I want to see the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is like the size of a piece of paper, and it's in a giant ass fucking room. And the only reason I didn't mind it is because I'm tall and I could look over everyone and see it. But other than that, you're fighting like 200 people to get up and see this painting this big, this behind, you know, glass, thankfully.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'd been full of spaghetti sauce.
I know, and all kinds of stuff by now. And then, I don't know. It's like, it's cool. Like I say, go there. But once you're there, like people are like, I'm going to spend 10 days in Paris. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do for 9 days?
So like a day there would be good.
Yeah, I mean, even a couple. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to see. There really is. But you're going to realize real quick that it's just like, you know, it's like going to New York City, right? Like, people are like, oh, yeah, I want to go to New York City. I want to go see this and see that and see da, 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 da. And it takes you more time to just get around than it does to actually see. Or if you're going to like, I'm going to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. It's like, okay, cool. Well, how was it? Well, I waited in line for 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
That's no good.
yeah.
Say we eventually want to do one of those. It's like a big Euro trip where you buy like this train pass.
Yep.
And then it's like you can get on and off whenever you want.
Yeah.
I will give Europe that. Public transportation is phenomenal. It's you can get anywhere and you don't have to get a vehicle.
Is the free healthcare worth it?
Oh, I didn't use it.
Oh, that's fair.
But I mean, free healthcare, the easiest way to look at that is look at the VA.
Yeah.
It's free healthcare. How's that working?
Yeah.
Like,
You know? Like
as we're sitting
you
here,
see
I got a
people-
message back from the VA. An emergency message I sent them on Wednesday.
and they just responded.
They just
now?
replied.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
yeah. You know.
Can I get a little bit more of the Igor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that treating you pretty good?
Which one?
The Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot smoother than I thought it would be.
Oh, yeah. Eagle Rare is awesome. No more questions?
Did I miss anything good?
The last question was, what are your best practices to make sure your obligations are kept?
And that's when you walked out.
Oh.
Keeping your obligation.
Did I answer your phone? I don't know if you said it this way or not, but under promise and over deliver.
Ooh, great one there.
Yes. Any business who does not practice that, I lose respect for instantly.
But even just as a person,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, don't over promise and under deliver. Don't say that you're going to do a million different things and then not get any of them
Yeah.
done.
It's I think youth, when you're young, I think, like, for example, when you're young, you like to promise to get stuff done,
Yeah.
even though you may have no intention of doing it.
Right.
Right. But I think when you're older is when you learn that it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no. People would rather hear no
right.
than yes and then have it not get done.
Well, and then because I think a lot of that has to do with just growing up in general. Like when you're young, you know, perfect example. Your parents are like, "Hey, clean your room." Okay, no problem. I'll get it clean before this weekend so I can go do stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then Friday, school's out, and you just you're gone for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Your room's not clean,
No.
but you got your parents off your back.
Yeah.
And then once you get out of high school and the real world happens, I feel like that carries over for a little while
Yeah.
until people like,
Until there's enough
Until there's
consequences.
repercussions. Yeah.
Repercussions. Yeah.
and then once that happens, then people learn like, oh, I can't just be a yes man. I just can't say yes to every single thing. Oh, hey, can you do? Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you need that? Yeah, we can make that happen for you.
Yeah.
You know. And now it's just like you got to put reality to the situation, and people understand it. If you're like, hey, listen, like I can't do that.
Even if it's something as simple as like going out with your friends, right? You get invited out to go somewhere. Like my standard answer is, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the day of, I'll either give you a yes or I'll be like, nope, I'm not feeling like it.
Yep.
And it's okay for me to say, I don't fucking feel like it today.
100%.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes a person a long time to realize that you're not letting somebody down by saying no as much as you are.
Yeah.
If you say yes and then don't show up.
A perfect example is 2 weekends ago. Went out with the group down to the river, hung out at the river all day long. And, sitting in the river, having some drinks, and everyone's, oh, yeah. Like, hey, we're going to go to the bar after this. So, hey, what time you guys go? Oh, no, we're going to get some food first. We'll figure it out. I'm like, oh, hey, look, after you're done eating, text me, let me know where you're going. I'll let you know if I'm in or not.
Yeah.
And like, cool. So we went and got some food, got back to the house, took a shower, unpacked everything. And I was like, I am not leaving this couch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I would have committed, then I would have felt obligated.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have been like miserable trying to drag myself out,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I sent the text, hey man, like stuck on the couch, not gonna be able to make it out. No problem. Half the group that was there didn't go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's usually how it is, especially after those big long days. Everyone's, you're at the river. Everyone's still pumped and they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they go home and then they shower and they put on that one pair of comfy clothes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh,
No, I got to get dressed to go back out. I'm already home.
already home. Fridge is there.
But then again, it's also 20 years ago. Oh, I'd have been at that bar.
And see, most of the time, I'm still yes, but
Yeah.
I just haven't grown up. But it's when I say no, people don't fuck with me about it. It's just no. Like,
Yeah.
I say my biggest problem with the what was the term you used? Overpromise, under
yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Over promise, under No. Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
yes, under promise, over deliver. Say your youngest employee is probably Justin.
Yeah.
So in the pizza world, we have high schoolers,
Yeah.
1 or 2 high schoolers, and then it's a bunch of 18 to 20, 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, I have this schedule for you. Does it work? Yeah, of course. I had nothing planned, All right, cool. And then that day comes and they call off.
Yeah.
And they call off the next day.
Yeah.
And they call off the next day. And you're like, hey, you're cutting into scheduling here. I just can't call someone in.
Yeah.
And it's the younger generation.
Yeah. They just don't
It's
realize that it's okay to say no initially. Yeah. But
in
Or
the
that it causes more harm if you change plans down the road.
Mhm.
Yep.
yeah.
That's the one big thing I learned from the military is right, wrong, or indifferent, make a decision and stick with it.
Yeah. So back to the cigar.
I started burning a little weird.
So to fix that, what are you gonna do?
Torch it.
Yep. Touch it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Just burn it on the edges that it needs in, and that's how to keep them even. So, and a lot of that is too that we're just talking and whatnot. So,
Yeah. A couple things with cigars and uneven burns. A lot of times it's not the construction of the cigar. It's not the cigar's fault.
It's the operator.
It's user error or it's environment, right? So if you're outside and it's windy,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you're smoking the same way and the wind's blowing, let's say left to right, that's going to cause the heat of that cigar to go a certain way, and it might cause it to burn a little funny. If you're smoking it and you hold that cigar the same exact way, like say you hold it with the band facing up the whole time you smoke it, all that heat's naturally just going to rise, and it may cause it to not have a completely even burn.
see, and that's just the cap is glued, right? And so from being in your mouth or whatever, just pull it off. Yeah. Try to keep it from unraveling, but that's normal.
But if you can rotate the cigar a couple times while you're smoking it, like, so the band, say you start with the band facing up, and then, an inch into it, that you turn it to the side or you turn upside down or whatever. I just naturally, from smoking for a long time, it just rotates as I smoke.
Right.
But some guys are like very particular and they like hold it a certain way and like, oh, my cigar, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, turn it, or don't smoke outside in the wind. Or temperature, like, oh, I lit my cigar and it cracked. Like, oh, yeah, because you took it out of your 70-degree humidor and you went to 30 degrees or 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So ashing it, I noticed there's a really stiff piece in the middle.
That's, I mean, sometimes that's fine.
Well, like, what is that?
It might still be burning.
Yeah.
It might still be lit.
Roll your cigar. Just roll it on the edge of the ashtray.
Yep.
Now let's see what you got in the middle there. So every type of tobacco. Yeah. Let's see what you got.
Oh, it's just from smoking it.
Yeah, that's
Just might have smoking a little fast.
yeah. You might want to.
Actually, yeah, you are smoking fast
Yeah.
because these are both the same size, and you're almost beating me.
Yeah.
And I smoke fast. Yep.
So, but like the different tobaccos, your wrapper, your binder, your fillers, depending on what kind of leaf it is, they each burn a little different, right? So what you're seeing there is two different types of leaves, and if the smoke's getting hot, that's telling you you're smoking fast,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is fine. It's
But
just-
if you're smoking at a normal pace, it all burns the same because of how they place the tobacco, different types of tobaccos in the cigar when they roll it.
yeah,
They place it a certain way so it burns all at the same speed. So some doesn't burn faster or slower than the rest. But when you start smoking it faster, you start making those different types of tobacco burn at different rates. Or you'll get a really pointy cherry, like the lit part comes to a point and it sticks up like an inch. You're smoking way too fast. So that's you said, why is it hard in the center when I ash it? Because it's still on fire. It's still that red cherry. It hasn't just completely turned to ash and everything's burnt, you know. The easiest thing to talk about with a cigar, I was talking this past weekend, I was talking with a guy, he works in the medical field. I don't know, he's a doctor of some sort. I just don't know what practice, because it's not really a profession, it's still a practice. And he was a cigar smoker. And so immediately I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's because they're bad for you, right? And he's just like, they're not bad for you. I'm like, I know.
yeah,
And so we were talking and he's like, yeah, he's like, you know, it is tobacco. There is nicotine in it. It's not addictive like, you know, cigarette type stuff is. But the doctor was like, one of the reasons why it's good for you is because it makes you kind of relax and focus on something else for 45 minutes,
yeah,
you know, and it's like, it's almost like meditation, you know, but different. You're not working on breathing techniques. You're just kind of like, hey, I'm going to sit here and I'm not really ignoring everything else, but I'm putting everything else aside so I can enjoy this cigar, you know? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, that's why I smoke cigars.
So are you getting lightheaded or anything? Got
No.
any buzz going on?
No.
Okay. So if that ever happens, you just got to get some sugar in your system.
Sugar?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
So I probably have plenty of sugar. We stopped at McDonald's on the way over.
then you're fine. Yeah.
Typically, if you eat before you smoke, you'd be okay. Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, we got anything else?
Not that I can think of. Go check out our Father's Day bundles. Like we said, they are live as of the airing of this episode. We got a few different options there, so go check them out. And we got a few other things on sale too. So go be the favorite child this Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being on the podcast, and
Thank you for popping my cherry.
yeah, it was a
My pleasure.
yeah, yeah, and happy anniversary, guys.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to come see us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. So
Yep.
yeah, anything else?
No. I mean, Justin touched on the Father's Day sale, and we answered some fun questions. That's about it.
Yeah,
Other than that, warfightertobacco.com.
yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Sounds good. Cheers.